Welcome to episode 2, week 3 of Game Day Girls.
I'm Maggie.
I'm Ella.
We're going to be discussing hot topics about football of week 3. One of the big hot topics was the Vikings beating the Texans, and I think kind of took everyone by surprise, just seeing that scoreboard, what the heck, because I know I had the Texans as a Super Bowl favorite, and just seeing the Vikings, who everyone thought was a nobody, come out and absolutely destroy them 34-7. Coming from a Jets fan, I seen Sam Darnold out there, and, he had 4 touchdowns, 181 yards, something crazy. He just played amazing, and I think they're the new kind of team that everyone needs to watch and look out for.
They're definitely one of the sleepers. Another thing, on top of that, is their run game was very good. Aaron Jones, he ran for 2 touchdowns, 100, and 8 yards or something like that. Very well done with that offensive line, and overall, I think the Vikings were just a very well put out team this week.
Any road game in the NFL is hard, and the Vikings are a good team. They have those key players. Sam Darnold, everyone thought he was washed because he went to the Jets, and no one thought he was good, which he didn't play good, but he didn't have a good team around him at the Jets. But now that he has that team, he has, Justin Jefferson, he has Aaron Jones, he has a good coaching staff. He has those key components around him. I think that helps them, and I think they have everything that they need to, make a good run.
I think Sam Darnold's been underrated his whole career. I just don't think he's been given ample opportunities, and I think there is still so much for him to improve on. And with this new Vikings team, I think they can make a decent playoff run.
Yeah.
Moving on into the Carolina Panthers, they got their first win. Andy Dalton started this week. What are your thoughts on that?
I think they had to. I think they made the right choice. I know everyone's like, Bryce Young, he's so good. It's true. I think he probably would be better if he, had a better team around him, but so would any quarterback. Andy Dalton, who has been in the league for so long, how he was able to come out in one game and win over a good team. The Raiders are not a bad team, and it was on the road. So the fact that he could do that in one game versus Bryce Young, who couldn't get it done all last season, it was very low. They had 2 wins or something, and they started 0-2. So I think they made the right decision. I think they had to do.
Yeah, I think they did too. I think that going forward, I think Andy Dalton should be starting. I realize Bryce Young is still very young, and he's very undersized too for an NFL quarterback. And I'm not saying he won't get better, but I think he still needs some time under, a veteran quarterback that's going to teach him,
Yeah. I also think, if Bryce Young were to get traded, I think he goes to any other team. Yeah, I think he will have more success, but I think right now they did make the right decision and they had to. And next week, I think it'll be a really good test to see because they go to Cincinnati, so it'll be interesting to see, how that all plays out and what how the Bengals will do if they're starting 0-3.
Yeah.
Not too many happy people here, but I think if you're a Bengals fan, you need to be a little bit concerned, but I don't think you're completely out of it. I think this next game, though, this is probably the most important game of the season because you can't go 0-4 in this in the start of the season. I think if you go 0-4, you are done. But just last night's game, that was just absolutely killer for them. They needed to win that game at home, and they just couldn't get it done.
Yeah, I think that the Bengals, honestly, I don't feel like Joe Burrow really played that bad. Really the offense, he still, threw for, 3 touchdowns, and, he played well. I think the defense just needs to step it up. The pressure on the quarterback was just not there tonight. And I think it's something that they will improve on and get better. I realize they have, injuries. I realize Trent Brown went down yesterday, and hopefully he comes back soon. In terms of the offense, but Chase Brown had a good game. He ran for a good amount of yards, and I think if they clean up some of the defense, I think they'll be fine. I just think that going down, I think it was 3 or 4 times in a row and scoring touchdowns is just unacceptable. You got to be able to make a stop, especially when your offense is still scoring points.
I think that one of the Bengals' biggest issues is that they would have these great drives and then they just couldn't capitalize. They couldn't finish. So it was just those are key moments in games where you have to, and the missed field goal, all those things just add up, and it's not what you need in a team to make it far. So I think this next upcoming game for them is very important. I think if they lose, that's when I would be starting to get really, really concerned. But if they win, I think you're like, all right, because you did see some glimpses of the old Bengals team that everyone used to know.
Yeah,
so.
and with them in a top division, the AFC North obviously, like, it's hard to come back from, losses, especially easy ones against the Patriots. But at the same time that you look at, you're like, they lost by 1 point to the Chiefs. They're almost there. It's just, getting a little bit better and maybe finishing those games off a little bit better. Also, I wanted to bring up the fact that, Justin Fields and the Steelers are 3-0 now, I think.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson has no, reason to get back on that field.
Yeah.
Why would you replace Justin Fields when he's winning games for you? And the Steelers are giving up 10 points. That's the most they've given up in a game. That team is going to be a threat down later when the season goes, and then especially some of the playoffs. That defense is just so good.
And he's doing his job, yeah.
Yeah.
He's getting those wins.
What do you think about the Jets this week?
I was really happy. I went to bed on Thursday night and I was it just felt good. It felt good to see, cause last year it was I was our defense, but it's it was so fun to watch, having an offensive team,
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, he had 2 touchdowns, 281 yards. It was just good to see an explosive offense, and I know the Patriots aren't this big crazy good team, but they also went on the road, beat the Bengals, so they've a win is a win, and I'll take it. I think there's still some things that they need to clean up offensively and defensively, but I was really pleased with how they looked, both sides. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, sorry for your Saints. That was rough. I was thinking of you when
bad.
I was watching that. I was
the defense didn't even play that bad. Giving up 15 points is not that bad. I realized Saquon Barkley ran all over us, but Derek Carr, he's got to get a little bit more than 12 points and maybe score a couple touchdowns. So that was just a tough game for them. We're 2-1. I think we'll bounce back from it. I think we'll be fine.
Derek Carr, it's just you see these veteran quarterbacks. It's that's when if you have a veteran quarterback, it's so key because they know what to do in situations when it's
yeah,
so close like that, and it's they know how to get those close wins on the road, at home, wherever it is.
Yeah.
So
and I think that Derek Carr is obviously. We beat the Cowboys last week, and we can easily bounce back from this loss and go play next week and win.
Yeah. All right. So that's it for episode 2 of Game Name Girls. I'm Maggie.
I'm Ella. See you next week for week 4.